All right, I got some e-bikes here. These are ECOTRIC. I don't know what that is. But anyway, they were set unbranded, I think, on eBay. And so I bought them off of eBay. And maybe you're wondering what one looks like and what it comes like in the box. So as quickly as I can, I'm going to go ahead and unbox this so you guys can see how it comes out. If you're interested in one yourself. I was looking at a lot of them. This is a 36 volt, 12 and a half amp hours. Guess that gives you around a 20-mile range. They have a 48 volt as well, and it's about, I don't know, 30, 40 bucks more. It might be better for some people, but I got this one because it seemed to fit into what I was looking for. It does look like it comes apart. I thought it was going to be assembled, but maybe you guys thought it was too. And you'll find out that it's not entirely assembled. It comes. I've been a bike person a lot of my life, so assembling one of these things won't be a big deal for me. Might be for some of you. I bet you this is the pedals. Oh, it's got tools. Look at that. Some tool. I mean, they have a wrench in here. Of course, the pedals. Probably end up replacing those eventually. Oh, maybe not. This looks like the buttons. It's pretty gonna look like it's gonna be pretty well apart. Pedals. I'll bring you back in. I'll get these out and look at them. We'll take a look at it. So in this box was the charger. The cord was in here. Let's look to see. Let's unbag it. All right, the stem, kind of a basic stem, aluminum, pretty lightweight. It doesn't feel like it's like super sturdy, but it doesn't look terrible. It looks like it'd be okay. We'll see how long it lasts. I'm not sure. Could always replace it later. That's one of those things about nice with little springs on them, since it doesn't have suspension. That might be a little bit helpful on a bumpy road. All right, looks like this whole assembly needs to come out together. I'm trying to get a lot of this unzip tied for you guys, so you don't have to watch me do all this stuff. There's a lot of zip ties. So be ready for zip ties. So the fork comes separate. It's basically, if you've ever bought a bike brand new in a box, this is how they come, and you have to assemble them. I worked in a bike shop many years ago, so I kind of know about this stuff. You guys have never done that. Maybe this might be a little bit of a job to you. So it's got the axle connected here. So this is how it's done in the bike shop, the same way. We used to get boxes like this, and that's how I'm voluntarily working like that. Okay. It's a little tough to get these out of the foam. Frame comes out like that. I thought since these were folding that they were going to be already assembled and folded, but that's not how they come. No big deal. Don't expect much for this price. It's a really good price for an e-bike. The forks need to be put on it. That's how they come in the box. The fender comes off of it. So now you kind of know what is in here. The fender is off of it. The front fender right here. If you can see all that, hopefully you can. The fender comes in a little package here. It feels really lightweight. I'm pretty sure everything's aluminum. It's actually It's only 50 pounds or 50 some odd pounds, so that is actually really lightweight for a fat tire e-bike. So, and that's with the battery. These are made out of aluminum too, so they're really featherweight. It's pretty nice, actually. I like the way it looks. Matte black. Okay, we're gonna get it. What I'm gonna do now is, since you've seen what's in the box, you see how it comes out of the box. The reason I just wanted to film this, you could always go ahead and jump ahead. The reason I want to film this, so you just see what you're getting. It's kind of a shock. You don't know how they come. If you don't know anything about how they come, if you thought it come all completely assembled, then you'd be like, whoa, hang on. So now you know this is how it comes. You got to put it together. It's not too hard to do. I'll go ahead and finish unpacking it, and then I'll get all the bubble wrap off of it and stuff, and I'll bring you back in and we'll start assembling it. Maybe I'll show you how to do that while I'm at it. Well, I've got to tell you guys my first impressions. I mean, whether it matters to you or not. Actually pretty impressed with this thing so far. It feels like it's like a matted powder coat, feels like it's on it. So it feels like it's pretty durable. My knife didn't want to scratch it very easily, so that was good. The second thing I noticed was it has sealed bearings for the front fork, which is kind of nice. I don't know that much about components that come on bikes now as far as that stuff goes, so I wouldn't be able to tell you what it is. Shimano derailleurs, of course. I don't know which level of Shimano they are. I don't know what the deal is with these. It's got a nice bottom brackets, the smaller size, which is good. I got sealed bearings in it. Usually those ones work pretty good. It's a cheaper line, I'm sure. It's not like the top of the line stuff, and I'm talking about 4Gs for something like that, probably. So it does come with the tools to actually assemble. It looks like we got a 15mm, I think. My guess. First, yep, 15. It's an old bike size one. 15mm Allen and an Allen wrench. So looks like the Allen wrench takes this stuff off here, which is lightweight and aluminum. Except I don't know how strong that's going to be. I don't know. These are really assembled different than what the old bikes used to. Aluminum. Feels pretty sturdy, but also feels lightweight at the same time. Tells you how much to torque it to on it. See, 12 Nm. This thing flips down somehow. Oh, there it goes. And then that makes the stem also fold to be able to port it, make it more portable. It's kind of neat. Okay, bring you back in a second. All right, so according to the instructions, you got to kind of get those out a little bit. Pretty simple. I mean, it's like one page. In case yours didn't come with instructions, I'll put this on here so you can kind of pause it. Shows to put the small washer on first, and then the other on the top of the fork. And then it shows some other stuff there, in case you didn't get your instructions. And you don't have to wait for them to email you. Okay, you can pause it if you need to on that. So the little plastic thing goes in first, and then this aluminum washer, I think it is, goes on next, like that, I believe. Feels right, must be. And then this thing goes on here, like this. believe. And then this little feller goes, that came off originally, goes inside there. Tighten it down. It looks like it needs to be at an angle a little bit, like something like that. Because when you put this up, the bars need to be straight. So you gotta think about that. It's a little bit of a thought process there. Make sure it's straight. I'll get it on and show you what it looks like in a second. Bring you back in. Kind of cool if I wasn't in the house. It has a little stand under there. Kind of nice to have it set up on that while you're trying to assemble it. When you don't have one of those nice bike stands. I don't think this would go on one of those anyway. So next thing, I guess I'll put on the handlebars and the front wheel. Of course, in the pedals, it doesn't take much to do really. It's just a little bit of a nuisance, but it's a few minutes. All right, we got to put on the stem, or the handlebars on the stem. So let's do that. I just took the nut out of there, and this looks like it slides in like so. And then you've got this little doodad here. Don't remember where that came out of. I think it came out of here. Let's see if that's in the instructions. No, only shows the stem part. Okay, that's all right. There's a manual in here too. Let's see what that says. It has the assembly instructions again in the manual. More details. So you do have that. Anyway, this will go on like that. Remember how I take it apart. There's a barrel nut here on the end of there. And let's see. I'll show you what it looks like when it's together. I think this end, oh, it was like this. So this end, had to do that twice. Scratch that. It's like a little bearing. And then this one goes through there and goes back in here. You tighten it up by hand. So about like right here. We're going to readjust everything once it's all together. Once I just want to put it together here so I can take you back to the shop and get my tools out. Make sure everything's tight. You really have to check them over. Whenever you get, when you get to get brand new bikes at the bike shop. And then this adjusts, which is cool. You guys were wondering about that. That adjusts, and then the fender bolt is right here. So we'll put that on. You can see down there. No, you can't really, can you? How about if we put you down right there, and then you can watch. So this fender goes like this, and I'm going to say I want the Allen bolt in the front. Fender's on. Tighten it up a little. I can't really tighten it without something else other than my fingers. I'll just do like that, and I'll roll it out back and tighten it up the rest of the way. Then we put on the front wheel. Or the seat post, either way. So I got the seat post right here. I'll just throw that in. You guys are right there. Then we'll just do this. Flip the seat out. I want the seat up pretty high for me. Say about there. We'll tighten that up a little bit later. Then I'll get the front wheel and put it on. All right, let's put on the front wheel. So this one goes on like, take this nut thing off the end of it. One of the springs. Slide it through. Put on the spring-a-ling-a-ling. Put the wheel on. Okay, I have to make sure we line up the brake caliper. That's something they didn't have on bikes when I was younger. Tighten this up as much as we can. In the appropriate place. Make sure it's centered. Tighten up a little more. Said it would be nice if I had a bike stand, but I didn't. Okay, so it's more like what you guys would be doing at home. Okay, so assemble. Okay, flip that over. So it is almost assembled. All I gotta do is now the pedals, but the rest I can do with the kickstand down. That'll be nice. Okay. Pretty cool looking bike, man. Liking it. I'm telling you. This is pretty nice. So, pedals. You got one right hand thread, one left hand thread. I feel like they have steel bearings in them. That's kind of nice. Oh yeah. Left one goes left. Righty goes right. So you tighten the pedals. Lefty tighty on this one instead of righty tighty. And this one goes righty tighty. Alright, so that's it. I think you guys can figure out the rest. At least you can figure out how to get it assembled. I'll bring it back in. I'm going to go tighten everything really tight, nice and tight. And then we'll charge it up and check it out, see how it works. All right, so the first thing I noticed was the handlebars were leaning backwards and it felt kind of weird. So this is the right way they're supposed to go. So you have plenty of room. There's a lot of outward reach to it. It's good for a taller person like me. I don't know about seat height yet. Let me see. Let's see. Oh yeah, that's actually fine. Good seat height for a lot of different size people. Let's see here. I got to put air in the tires still. I got the stem tightened up. It does say Newton meters on there, 12 Newton meters, so make sure you don't over tighten those. That's what they have that on there for. If you tighten that up too tight, then you do one at a time, do a little bit on these two bolts right here. You might be stripping that thing out. Those things, you know, that's aluminum. So keep that in mind. And I don't know if you can buy another one somewhere. Who knows on that? As far as components go, I don't know if you can replace a lot of this stuff. I mean, all the Shimano stuff can get replaced. Which one is it? It's Shimano Tourney. It's not like a top of the line one. I don't know. It's not a Dura Ace. It's not a 505 or 105. 105 is the old one. That's right. It's been a long time since I've had ridden or looked at bike stuff, so this is all new to me. So if you guys know more than I do, that's cool. You can make those comments, of course. I got to put air in the tires, and it does have some battery in it right now. I don't know how much. I did turn it on. Let's see. First time turning it on. Well, actually, I turned it on once already. It says they got that much power, or whatever that is. Mode medium. And there's high, low, medium, high. What's this? I don't know. Who knows? Find that out when I start riding it, right? Is that a horn? I don't know. Oh, that's oh, maybe that's like pedal assist. Indexed. Oh, that's the shifter. Oh, I gotcha. Duh. My shifter isn't like that. It has something else. I forget how it works, but it doesn't work like that one. So it's I'm not into the newfangled, the newest shifter stuff. You know, they always have new stuff coming out all the time for bikes. So. Anyway, not a bad bike so far. Looking at it, it's really about what I expected. I was really I'm not disappointed at all. I'm not overly joyed. You know, I just think I really did a lot of research before buying it. And I, kind of looked at different ones and looked at different specs on them. It has 12.5 amp hour battery and Shimano components. I gotta make sure the brakes are adjusted. That's one thing you always do before you ride a bike. Make sure they don't drag and they're not adjusted. They seem like they're pretty well, doable right there. I can ride it like that. And I'll probably tune it up after that. Anyway, let's see. I gotta put air in the tires and then I guess we can ride it. All right, so first time to ever ride an e-bike. I guess it's a regular bike, right? But I turn it on. Let me see what it rides like with a regular bike. I was going, how come it's so easy to go uphill? and I let off the pedals and it stops. So it's kind of. That's what we're getting used to. Don't pedal backwards unless you want it to go. That's weird. Okay, so when you're pedaling, it's going. Then you can just gas it. Okay. Tell you that takes some getting used to. Feeling that thing take off and ride for you, but you still ride it. So I guess it knows when I'm pedaling backwards too. Because when I pedal backwards, it's kind of weird on its own. Then you gotta, whoa, you don't want it to go, and it kind of goes. So like I said, it's going to take some getting used to. Anyway, I guess we can go for a little more riding. All right. I'm just going to carry my phone here and help you guys ride along. Oh, it makes it a whole lot easier going uphill. Man, that is cool. Let's see if it goes up this big hill. This is really steep. Give it a little bit of pedal assist. Whoa, something. You have to do a little bit of pedaling to get up this one. I don't know if the battery's low. not fully charged. It says keep pedaling, keep pedaling. So it's kind of weird. Definitely takes some getting used to. And it wants to go when you're turning around. You're pedaling. It just goes on its own. You want the disc brakes on this thing. It's on medium too. That's why I wouldn't go up the hill. So if you put it on the higher setting, it probably goes up hills a lot easier. But the bummer is when you're going downhill, you can't pedal. Okay, cool. It's weird when you start pedaling it starts to go sometimes when you don't really want it to. So I guess that's a difference if you have the really expensive one. This one just senses, I think, when you pedal. Sorry if you guys are a little sideways there. The other one, if you just pedal and you don't have any resistance, this one, if you don't have any resistance, it'll start going. The other ones sense resistance, and they're more expensive. They have a different bottom bracket. Something's different down there where they feel you. I don't think this one has that. I don't know, but I don't think it does. I think it just has the senses when you're moving your pedals, and it starts to help. So it's kind of cool. I thought I was going to be able to pedal a little bit more than I can, which I wish it was a little bit, you know, I could adjust it or something and make it, you know, maybe I can. Maybe if I put it on low, I don't know, I got to post settings and stuff like that. See, now when I'm pedaling, it starts just going. It's kind of weird. Well, I think it actually, maybe it does when I don't know how it works. Anyway, it's kind of cool. Takes some getting used to, and it'd be a lot better if I had two hands. I hold my phone with one hand, so. Anyway, I thought I'd make this video for you guys. Hopefully, you're able to see it. I'm gonna bring you back in a second. So overall, I went for a little ride on this thing to figure out a few things without my camera, of course, because it's so much easier to try and figure out stuff. And I noticed that this battery was loose in here. If you notice that when you ride it, you need to take the battery out and then tighten up the set screw in here for this rod that holds it in. Make sure it's all the way down in there, and it shouldn't have any looseness like that. It should be nice and tight. If it's not tight, then you gotta play with it and make sure it's tight, because that battery bounced, came unhooked, and then it stopped working when I was out there. I had to ride back on regular power, which it still rides pretty good on regular power. You know, it actually without any juice, it actually rides, I don't know, just a little bit harder than a regular bike, but not much. It's really, just because it's a little heavier, you can feel the weight of the bike. But it's still, this one's very lightweight compared to a lot of others. And if you want to get more mileage out of it, I think, and get more energy, use more of your body to power it, instead of putting it on high, put it on low. And if you're climbing a hill, you might want to bump it up to high, because then it gives you a little more juice, you know, to the motor. 500 watt motor, and it will get up a hill. I mean, I went up a pretty steep hill on this, and it still went up it almost on total power, but you still had to give it a little bit of pedaling. So if you're like in San Francisco or something like that, it'll probably make it up some of those hills. Some of it may not. I mean, the really, really steep ones, some of those things are straight up. So I don't know if it would go up those, but you'd probably have to pedal assist to do that. So plan on that if you're looking at this thing, figuring it's just going to go right up, you know, some really steep hill. I mean, I'm talking about, if you've ever been to San Francisco, you're talking about real steep hills. So, but putting it on high actually helped more. When you had it on high, it had a little more juice to go uphill. And on low, like if you're wanting to get more exercise, or medium, one of those two. So you get a little more out of it. And it's kind of neat. Everything else is pretty basic. It doesn't have a lot of frills and extras. It doesn't have a little screen or like that. It just has power. I don't know, maybe that number will tell you something about the component. I don't know. I don't know if they're all made by the same people or if this hub is interchangeable. You can get different ones. I'm sure you could probably do some modifications to it later if you wanted to as well. Probably could put a bigger battery in or change the voltage. I don't know if this controller works with multiple voltages. I'm not sure. Maybe. You can look into that. There's a number on it. Anyway, just a couple things to note from riding it really in a short period of time. I just thought I would put that in here too, since I still had the raw footage. Okay. Yeah, overall, I think it's to me, so far, it's for what I paid, which was $729, I think, plus tax, you know, no shipping. Shipping was free. You know, for that price, you can't really go wrong, I don't think. Like I said, Shimano parts, components, and I don't know who makes that motor. Let's look at it. It's got their branding on it. There's another number on it if you want to look at that up. Let me get you in here a little closer. There's a number. Wanna look that one up? Go for it. Yeah. Oh, BG. I think that's that brand, that's the common brand that everybody makes these. They make all the hubs for these. BG. I think that's, I forget the name. Bang something China. I don't know. But yeah, that's the brand for that. And here's the brakes components. C-Star, you know, it's like total. Who knows, it might break in half. If you want good brakes on this thing, definitely. That's one of the things I found out with this. You need brakes because it'll go when you don't want it to sometimes, and you want to just grab the brakes and stop it. Because if you just accidentally start pedaling, it starts to go. But it rides really good. The bearings and stuff feel really good. It feels like a decent bike. It's lightweight for what it is. Anyway, I thought it was pretty good. Talk to you later. I think it's actually pretty good. Actually rides pretty good. Once I ride it with two hands, I can tell you, I think it'll be a lot better. But it takes some getting used to. Because as soon as you start pedaling, it starts to go, you know, where it kind of takes over. I kind of wanted a little bit more resistance than that would be cool, but because I want to get some exercise. But I don't mind it other than that. It's really cool, and it's really sturdy. It's rated for 200 pounds. I weigh a little more than that, so not much more, but you know, yeah, I'm over the weight limit, and it seems to be fine with me. So far, I guess, you know, we'll find out. The thing I did notice is I had to tighten the seat up because the seat, like I said, not the strongest seat. So it did tighten up good, and it still didn't shift with me on it. And like I said, I'm over the weight limit there, so don't expect much. Anyway, it's actually pretty cool. Keep around the comments here. We'll see if there's anything different. Talk to you guys in the next video. Please like, share, and subscribe.